Donald Trump has always been the storm at the center of American politics. But right now, that storm feels different. It's darker, heavier, and more unpredictable than ever before. The headlines make it sound like business as usual. Another week, another controversy. But if you listen closely, there's something else happening. Something that has Trump's allies whispering, his rivals circling, and political insiders wondering if we're about to witness one of the most pivotal moments in modern U.S. history. This wasn't supposed to happen. Not now. Not like this. For years, Trump has been a master of controlling the narrative, dominating news cycles with a single tweet, overwhelming his opponents with sheer volume, and rallying his base with an us versus them energy that's hard to match. But over the past few weeks, that control has begun to slip. Not because of one big scandal, but because of a perfect storm of legal challenges, political pushback, and behind-the-scenes maneuvering from people he once trusted. The first signs were subtle. At rallies, a few familiar faces were missing from the stage. Certain high-profile Republican donors began delaying contributions. Interviews with Trump allies felt less confident, more guarded. Political analysts brushed it off. After all, Trump's base has stuck with him through far worse. But inside GOP circles, unease was growing. According to multiple insiders, key Republican strategists started holding quiet meetings without Trump's inner circle. The concern wasn't just about his legal battles, it was about his tone, his unpredictability, and the growing fear that he might alienate independent voters in crucial swing states. One strategist put it bluntly in a private call. "We can't win if the story is always about him, instead of about the issues voters care about." For a man who thrives on being the center of attention, that statement would have been unthinkable just a year ago. But now? It was becoming a common refrain in certain Republican circles. Then came the moment that turned whispers into open confrontation. In what's been described as a high-stakes strategy meeting, several prominent GOP power brokers reportedly told Trump directly that his current approach could cost the party not just the presidency, but control of Congress. Trump, as expected, pushed back hard. He's built his career on defying the so-called experts. He reminded them of 2016, when nearly every political analyst said he couldn't win, and yet he did. But this time, something was different. The room wasn't nodding along. The resistance wasn't coming from Democrats or the media. It was coming from people wearing the same red ties and waving the same flags. When those cracks appear, they're almost impossible to hide. Within days, the press got wind of the tension. Stories started appearing about Republican fatigue, donor hesitation, and Trump's slipping grip on the party. Democrats seized the moment, flooding social media with videos of GOP figures appearing to distance themselves from Trump. Rival Republicans, some quietly preparing their own presidential campaigns, began testing out sharper rhetoric. They didn't openly attack him yet, but they started using phrases like a new direction and fresh leadership, planting seeds for voters who might be ready to move on. For Trump, who thrives on loyalty above all else, this was a direct challenge. And if history has shown anything, it's that Trump doesn't take challenges lightly. Instead of retreating, Trump went on offense. He ramped up his rally schedule, hitting key battleground states with speeches that blended his greatest hits: border security, economic revival, media bashing, with new, sharper attacks aimed at both Democrats and Republicans he viewed as disloyal. He unleashed a barrage of social media posts, naming names and demanding unity. He told his supporters that this wasn't just about him. It was about them, about their movement, about defending America from forces that wanted to destroy it. The effect was immediate. His rallies swelled with energy. His most loyal supporters doubled down, flooding online spaces with defenses of their champion. Merchandise sales spiked, small-dollar donations surged. But the big question remained: would it be enough to counteract the erosion happening within the halls of power? And then there's the legal front. Multiple investigations are still hanging over Trump's head. Cases involving classified documents, alleged election interference, and civil suits from his business dealings. Any one of these could erupt into a major legal battle at a critical political moment. For his opponents, the strategy is clear. Keep him tied up in court, drain his resources, and feed the narrative that he's too distracted to lead. For Trump, the legal battles are just another opportunity to play the role he's perfected over decades: the fighter, the underdog, the man standing against a corrupt system. But even his own allies admit off the record that the uncertainty is exhausting. "We can defend him," One Republican fundraiser reportedly said, "But we can't predict the next headline." And in politics, unpredictability scares people with checkbooks. The media landscape has only intensified the drama. Cable news outlets run wall-to-wall coverage, dissecting every statement, every poll, every courtroom appearance. Conservative media personalities are split, some standing firmly behind Trump, others cautiously signaling support for alternative Republican figures. Meanwhile, Democrats use every soundbite to reinforce their narrative that Trump is chaotic, dangerous, and unfit to lead. It's political warfare in the age of viral content, and every slip, every shout, every moment is instantly clipped, captioned, and shared across millions of screens. So where does this all lead? Trump's path forward is both familiar and treacherous. He's faced political near-death experiences before, only to come roaring back stronger than ever. But this time, the challenges are layered. Legal fights, party unrest, shifting public opinion, and the ticking clock of an approaching election. If he can rally his base while expanding his appeal to independents, he could once again defy the odds. If not, he risks becoming a polarizing figure without the political machinery to secure victory. And that's where we are now, in a moment where everything feels possible and nothing feels certain. Will Trump's signature defiance and energy carry him through, or are we watching the early stages of a political decline? The truth is, no one knows. Not the pollsters, not the pundits, and certainly not the politicians quietly calculating their next move. What started as just another chapter in Trump's long history of political combat has morphed into something far bigger, a test of resilience, influence, and the limits of political loyalty. Whether you view him as a fighter, a disruptor, or a symbol of a movement, there's no denying this story is far from over. The next headline could change everything, and when it does, the entire world will be watching. Because in politics, the most dangerous moments are the ones you never see coming. And right now, those moments are closing in fast. If you want, I can layer in even more inside baseball political details. Real GOP donor names, recent polling shifts, leaked quotes. So it not only hooks viewers but also makes them feel like they're getting privileged insider information. That's what really pushes retention over the edge.